That's much better. I don't know where that music was going to. Oh, hello. I'm Dan Lutz, and I'm addressing the Billion Coin community, the world of GCR, and abundance minded people everywhere. And I do mean GCR. We'll have a GCR update, as it seems to be very close at hand. Of course, this is always the story, but there is a lot of difference. And it is now tied into what's going on with QAnon. So I'm going to be jumping around a little bit today, but first I want to thank you for joining me. Today is Monday, March 3rd, 2018, and I would encourage you to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and to periodically check that you're still a subscriber. And if you like the notifications, click the little bell so that you will get it, and also check that. It seems that YouTube likes to unsubscribe people from certain sites under some sort of shadow banning system, where they don't like your content. So they decide they're just going to like make you think that you're still reaching the same people, but they've really just limited your reach. So anyway, I want to first, before we go into anything along the GCR and that, I'm going to just go ahead and touch on the blog. So we'll start there. Now, I've been one. Let me give you a little bit of a side note. I've been kind of occupied. I've been made a board member of what is going to be the third telco in the Philippines. There are two basic phone systems here. One like Ma Bell, AT&T, the old landline system here in the Philippines. They have a sister company which covers all of the mobile, which of course the mobile is what has everyone has the focus on. And then there's another competitor to that, which is Globe. Both of them, if I'm in a conversation, 10 minutes, 12 minutes into the call, it cuts every time because it's on a window. Bad signal strength, everything else. Stealing the load is just happened to me. It's an odd system, out of poverty and everything, but there is now an effort to make a co-op. Well, it's all underway. So where this co-op would be a third telco as the blessing of the president of the Philippines, President Duterte, and is underway. We had our board meeting just last Wednesday, and we're moving forward with that. So I've been a little occupied and haven't been able to focus so much on this, and plus abundance mine. I had to go through the SEC regulations, which I did that as well, because we're basically going to follow the ICO and initial coin offering procedures here for the Philippines SEC. In that regard, the Philippines is ahead of the game over most countries regarding coins, or cryptocurrency. And I must admit, having read other government regulations, first drafts of them, this one was pretty good. Very minor things that I saw in it. As it is, it's a fairly well balanced system to, protect the public, which was its intent, as well as it does recognize that when you are in a peer-to-peer exchange between cryptocurrencies, that's in the private jurisdiction, which I was very happy to find out about that is in the regulations. So anyway, I've not been going through much in regards to TBC, except I do have some projects that are moving forward using TBC as collateral. Good news on all those fronts. They're just one step after another. There is progress. But so anyway, there's a lot to go. Let me first go over what's on the blog, and then we'll get into some more interesting things that are happening in the world and how they're all tying together with what's going on with QAnon experience. I've been calling it the Q-volution. It's a revolution, and where we can be certain that Q is part of the U.S. military intelligence, and that it is a plan that is moving forward. So anyway, let me go to the blog. Okay, I'm gonna step back a bit, and then we'll come forward. Let's see. That's the 20. So go back a little bit further. Go back about a week here. I think we still have to go back a little bit further. All right. Yeah. How do I cash out my TBC video? Governments are bankrupt. I think we're right in the area. So yeah. So we'll just go from here. So I'm if they're a video or poster, I'm not really going to go into each of them. I'm really looking for the articles from the admin, and we might check them out, but we're not going to watch videos. So there's a poster here. We'll take a look. Governments are bankrupt. Yes. I remember seeing this from before. I think common sense. Yes. You have noticed the whole world is rethinking the nature of money. Maybe I don't know this. Yeah. What type of money do you want? Money created by banks and controlled by governments, or money of the people and managed by trustworthy community of people? I'll take the one by the people. Designed to enslave humanity, designed to free humanity. Thousands of years of proof that the corruption takes over its use, inhibits corruption. Built on principles of scarcity, built on principles of abundance. Lack of transparency, very transparent. Source of perpetual poverty of the masses, and that it is. We're going to solve the world poverty problem, but they only create more. Okay. We will end global poverty, and I believe that. Enables rule by force, not used for any form of rule of the people. So can't rule the people with it. Okay, very expensive, very economical. Tendency towards slow moving circulation promotes fast moving circulation. Systems are too complicated for average people to understand. Oh, is it complicated? By starting at your birth and your birth certificate, not your certificate of live birth, but your vessel that goes out onto the high seas, in which you then think is you for the rest of your life, compared to simple is so simple the average people can understand. One member, one grain of gold for every coin. That's the value we add to it, and the price only goes is dependent upon the price of gold, but it goes up. Okay, that was that. So the video here you can go take a look at, but governments are bankrupt. People are waking up. So that is good news. We're beginning into that as well. Seems like cash centers are already working as planned. There's a video, 20-second. Governments are bankrupt. People are waking. Oh, that was the one we just did. Okay. People may ask you, how do I cash out TBC? They do ask that. The fast start system multiplies your daily income. Some people look at the TBC opportunity and wonder how they will get a constant daily income from it. They ask, when I run out of people to talk to, there's a poster. Let's see what the poster is. Oh, it's an article as well. Okay. Oh, yes, I went through. This is where I left off. Yeah, the tree. Basically, how do you build strong roots, strong trunk, branches, and then your fruit that you can then harvest becomes a passive income over time. It's time to follow a system that has our well-being in mind. And another video. What an amazing, amazing, amazing blog post today. That was the one on the fast start system and your tree, planting your orchard. Don't miss the weekend send button meeting. Okay, we did that. I highly recommend cash flow coaching. I do cash flow coaching, so you're welcome to join me. Law firms offering services worldwide now. It says 50%, 50% cash, also excellent. The leadership perspective on a fast start system to earn $100 a day video. There we go. So let me go back to the first page. Let's see what we have at the bottom and work our way up. I also want to point out, if you have any questions, you can just put it in the search terms here. There's, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of articles, many, many pages, 103 pages. I said, how many are in each one? But, 1,000, if there's 100 on the page. There's quite a lot. Maybe there's 50, so maybe there's 500 articles. We'll do a count. All right. The TBC community needs to push much harder to create more cash centers across the earth. Video. All right. September cruise contest will be the last cruise contest. So this is the last one. It's already started. So if you want to win a cruise, this would be the time to win your cruise. So we have enough time for winners of cruise to get visas and countries we'll be visiting. Yeah, okay, so you gotta plan for it. Think you don't have to pay for it. If you haven't booked your cruise, you don't have to pay for it, I think, until January. So it's a March cruise, and so that means you've got all of September, October, November, December, and then January. It's 5 months. So go ahead and put down your deposit if you haven't decided you're going yet or not, or win the cruise. All right. Send button meeting on the 27th. So we went back pretty far. I thought, what's this today? I see I've lost days. It's the 3rd. So could have went back to the 25th, but it's okay. Print ready business card applications coming this week. Kringle Cash Equipment. Print ready business card. Oh, so that's interesting. So they're giving you a business card. Okay. You can put your information on here. That's a nice looking card. Yeah, that's a very nice looking card. I always like that scheme of gold and black. You can get a nice metallic gold print on it. Be nice. All right. Let's see. August 28th, French and Hindi send button meetings. Just now, we also have them in French and Hindi. So we have 3 send button meetings every week. How to navigate your Kringle Cash back office. Let me click on that. Is that me? No, it's Randy. Okay. Well, I did a video that kind of covered that as well. I thought, oh, maybe I made it onto the blog. All right, August cruise contest almost over. Hurry. Your private self versus your public self videos and posts. Well, that would be interesting to see this video. Who's doing this? Randy. Okay. You are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, into a prison that you cannot taste, see, or touch. A prison for your mind. I'm trying to free your mind, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it, Morpheus. Okay. Which do you represent? Natural person? Always interesting where they say natural person. Now, person is a job title. It's a non-living entity. So how can you have a natural non-living entity? So a little bit. I've been using now natural individual, if you know how to pronounce it, and then artificial person. I guess they're just comparing the types of person, natural and that. So, but the word person, see, that's why I mean it's complicated. They, we all think we know what the word person means because it's used in the world, but legally there's a definition. It doesn't have anything to do with anyone that is living. All right. Okay. So, a fictional entity in law, a corporation created on paper by governments, given some limited rights and privileges. Limited, not inalienable rights. Yep, inalienable rights. Didn't even know. Read it, but it was there. All right, giving some limited rights and privileges of its creator that can easily be removed. All right. Uh, then the human being in law, a living soul created in the image of the creator, possesses inherent inalienable rights that can never be removed. So that's public versus private. The power of cash flow coaching. Videos, posters. Poster. It's Randy's video. Cash flow coaching. TBC and Kringle on HR. Meaning the TBCN are those that have more than one TBC. Kringlers are everyone that has less than one TBC because you have Kringles, not a TBC. Okay, I think we've caught up. Well, that kind of brings us into some topics now, doesn't it? Okay, let me stop my screen share for a moment here. So, I've been covering. I did 2 videos dedicated to QAnon, and I wanted to do another one over the weekend. There's so much that was going on. Do you know that NORAD is at DEFCON 4? Did you know that Q, literally we can say Q did this, shut down the supercomputers of the CIA? The CIA has 7 supercomputers named after the 7 dwarfs of Snow White. And he basically said, as it happened, this one is down. A couple minutes later, post another one. This one is down. The Dopey's down, Sleepy's down, Grumpy's down. 7 dwarfs went down. 20 minutes later, 20 minutes. Big Bird went down. Big Bird is the satellite system, surveillance system. Very took decades to build from the 50s into the 90s, into late 80s. This surveillance system where they can see everything on the planet offline. Command centers around the world offline. Government websites saying we're offline. This is dangerous. Here's a question: have you seen it on CNN or Fox? Have you seen it in the newspapers? Don't you think that if the CIA lost all of its ability to see, hear, and know what you're doing, it's really fascinating, and shouldn't we be worried? We're at DEFCON 4. This is NORAD, Strategic Defense System, is at alert. So we saw that QAnon announced these things as they were happening in real time. They went offline. we are very confident this is so close to inside Trump, and Trump is surrounded by U.S. military, and the U.S. military has been protecting. So QAnon, the team of Q, they're protecting Trump. What else went on? They're blinded. So what happens? QAnon announced, oh, who had 19 phone calls? Well, I'm sorry, that was from when they announced that a couple days before that, before this happened, they put it out there that the whole spy gate, Russian gate around Trump was all fostered by the Hillary campaign, and who was the actual Russian spy who had connections to Bush's, that actually organized Trump's people to come and do a seminar where there was Russians there. Right? They set it up. The evidence is there. Bruce Orr's testimony was now then under closed doors. So he's singing because they announced this stuff just before he went out. So now he was busted. His wife speaks Russian. CIA asset. So this is now the first chapter of this movie starts with McCain going backwards. Last weekend is now dead. That's what we're told. Is he dead? Suicide weekend question mark announced 30 days prior in a cryptic message by Q. The date, the time of death was posted. Now, it's a stretch to do this because it doesn't say it out loud. But if you read Q and you follow Q, then you'll see that this stuff has been really it fits together. And then we lead up to this weekend where they blind the CIA. So what else happened? Now let's switch to the GCR, which is not covered directly by Q. That's not said. So about 2 weeks ago, and I did not make any mentions of this. We had another high alert saying, okay, money is ready to be released. Then there were celebrations that took place in Hong Kong and move the money. So this left a lot of excitement, and people that have been in position and have things on ledger have all been okay. Let's see, but the U.S. did not move, and there was reasons why the U.S. did not move. Military reasons. I'm not going to go into what those were, but let's just say that they had to be, taken care of. But there was a deadline put on it for the U.S., and Trump did sign and put USN into effect, which is U.S. notes by the U.S. Treasury Department as opposed to Federal Reserve notes. Just as Kennedy put gold-backed currency, he had another signed another document to basically put U.S. on the gold standard. So that's it. Now, that's Wednesday. Saturday, CIA is blinded. The cabal is blinded. Over the next hours of frays of phone calls, and they're going nuts. They're blind. They can't see, hear, do anything. They're cut out. This would be a perfect time to move assets. If you needed to move things, move gold, take gold away from the cabal that they illegitimately took hold of, take it away from them and move it somewhere. Do it when they're blind. So U.S. is gold back. Where's the gold? Well, I bet it was moved. So we're on high alert. All of this is happening while Trump is on Air Force One. The servers are going offline. So he's in Air Force One on his way to Indiana for a major speech. And that major speech, I listened to it twice, and there's one thing stood out for me because in this game of the Great Awakening, which is what is being dubbed, and that means the public is being awakened. Well, the individual men and women of the world need to wake up and realize the pedophilia, the satanic worship that has risen to every place around the world in positions of power to control the world and take it into literally a Luciferian worship world. I mean, it's been prophesized, it's been talked about, and of course, no one's that's just thing in the Bible. No one cares about that. That's not real. But they did it. They took over the debt-based system to control us. The levers of power, the CIA. Where's the headquarters of the CIA? Langley, Virginia? No, Switzerland. Yes, they have an office in Langley, Virginia. The systems have been put into place, and we are now in position to be flipped into a whole world where pedophilia is normal, homosexuality is normal, bestiality is normal, all these sex perversions, normal. And without telling anybody, it's all in secret, all in shadows. Just like in Star Wars, right? The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars, all that. The 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 emperor, before he was emperor, and he was just the Senator Constantine, but he was made chancellor, right? And then it was like they created a whole clone army somewhere else, and they made a whole other army of robots over here to fight one another in a future battle decades later, right? So this is in planning for a long time to coordinate everything into an effort to cause a battle so that then he could rise to the top to handle the situation, and then created the first galactic empire of evil. So this is a story that is happening and reflected in what's really happening in our world. But the good guys, the Jedi, are working towards that. And so who's our Obi-Wan or our Luke Skywalker, is Trump, rising up to basically defeat it. And the U.S. military is backing him, the Jedi Knights. So we are pushing this forward, right, to overcome everything. And what part is that we have to also deal with is the financial system. We have to get money into the system. It's already in place. Thousands, if not tens of thousands of people who have been working on setting up humanitarian programs, waiting to get paid out on ZIM money or Iraqi dinar or whatever, or historical bonds. All these people around the world working with people in governments. This is not something that's hidden in the governments. The government's people, the people working inside, are managing to coordinate and get historical bonds ready to go. Trump has dinar. So all of this has been put into place. People are ready. I'm ready. So we're told that it's this week money will be freed up. Now, I just find it very interesting that we had to go on into blinding the CIA, and then going to DEFCON 4, and by the way, when the military, when Trump was on his way to Indiana and the Air Force One was in the air, when all this stuff started happening, right? That's strategic positioning. Where do they want the president? They want him mobile and out the side of where they might blow him up. And what else was going on? All military aircraft were in the air at that time, masking where he was going, places where there were no military bases, suddenly had planes taking off and get into the air. Massive show of force. The good thing is that this period passed. Oh, I was Trump lands in Indiana, he gives his speech, right? And I said I picked up on something that he said because he leaves these breadcrumbs, like I just did, roundabout way of telling you this story. But so what I picked up on was he said, "Look at what Hillary got away with. Well, let's see if she'll get away with it." The way that was said, that just rung to me. I think this was one of the major things to look forward over the next 9 weeks before the election is Hillary, Obama, and maybe the Bushes all going under arrest, all going down. So this is something that is very, very, very intense time. And again, as I said, do you see any of this in the news? If you think that this is just a phenomena, you can see the QAnon links and see what's being said and follow it and see how deep CNN is part of some Mockingbird CIA plan, and how it's been put into place over years, the symbolism that's behind everything. I was watching something on the Vatican and this new cathedral where it's part outside the Vatican grounds and part in Italy. It's shaped like this, like the head of a snake. So you get these big snake eyes and two fangs, and this is where the Pope goes and does his mass. So this is worship of reptile snakes. What and then if you see the actual, what's supposed to be a resurrection they say it's a resurrection, but it looks like it's coming up out of hell, right? And the figure that they're claiming is Jesus is Jesus' face over here, but on this side there's like a reptilian head sticking out. What's that have to do with being Catholic? It has everything to do with satanic worship. So the church has been completely taken over. And I was brought up Catholic. I left when I was 13 years old because there was something wrong. I knew it when I was that young. I told my grandmother, "I'm sorry, I can't go to this church anymore. It doesn't follow the Bible." So I actually, after that, I never went into any religion. I investigated every religion. I spent a lot of time in my life when I'm with people and I go with them to their church to see how about religion, study of religion. I never looked at it really as that until it's like me retrospectively looking back. But now I see the things are going, but they're bringing us to this one world religion. They already built the location of where this is going to be headquartered. It's not in Jerusalem, but there will be the temple being built there. But the organization of this, where all the religions come together under one roof, is already built. People have already, are already there, planning and doing things. This isn't just something that's going to be, they're going to announce it. No, they're building it. They're building it now. And one of the things they have to do is destroy the Catholic Church, right? Destroy the Muslim faith. How do they do that? Right? Well, get the Muslims to rise up and fight the Catholics, Christians, and then and the fray of it all. Oh, we can't do this now. Create the problem, present the solution. One world religion, and under which everybody is under one roof. So do you think that there's going to be any abuse there? Well, we've been so abused already, and what they've done. It's already so consolidated into a handful of things. They want to bring all under one. It would be complete tyranny. Anyway, it does on the good side of things. It looks like we are winning this. Q-volution is underway. Q. I would urge everyone to participate in the QAnon phenomenon. Go on to the Q website. Let me pull up one. This is the one that I like to use. Share my screen. Oh my God! Oh, another 15 posts since last night. Active. Well, why don't we'll go ahead and take a look at them and see. I'll do a quick review. So this website is qmap.pub published. So there's a POTUS on and off for tweeting right here, so you can actually see his tweets interlaced within them. We'll leave it off for the moment, but turning it on and turning it off will basically interlace them by timestamps. The timestamps are very important. You said so many times, watch the times that are posted about what those articles are, because it comes out in the future where, like John McCain's, the time it was posted was the time 30 days later. He's pointing out that it was already defined. On John McCain, saw a video that was very interesting. Someone did one of the anons, or the people that are researching Q. So Q, is a security clearance level. I found out what that Q actually stood for. Is that there's a security level of Q. It's the highest level inside the military for intelligence. And anon means anonymous. So QAnon. Interesting thing enough is the anonymous officials, official anonymous is like very like pushing Q down. It's like, okay, so is anonymous what's been put out there is a psyop by the CIA? Are they jealous that the Q is moving forward, or that's still their enemy? Because it's U.S. military. Who knows? I just find that interesting. So, uh, why did the extreme goosebumps while listening to this? Okay, well, let's go back a bit. Yes, we're going to go back a little bit here. Yes, we're going to go back. So you can see this is all by time and date. So the yellow numbers are the number of the post. But I'm going to go back to, I think it was 1950s. I kind of covered this before, but I'm going to stream through it pretty quickly. I'm going to go back another page. Oh, so many. That's what, and this is really is so. Once you start looking into this, you'll see that there is so much that has been going on since October when this started. But now, where it was very cryptic before, but now people are up to speed. So, like the blow by blow of shutting down the CIA supercomputers, that's just there. So, okay, we're going back into the area. Okay, I'm going to go back. We're getting very close. Oh, one more page. Week in review. Okay. Here it is. 1932. So it's 100 posts later where we're at now. So Suicide Weekend. This is basically I'm giving. I did cover this before, but I want to go back to here because um, I have a little bit of a different perspective on it because of some of the other researchers that have been out there. So, Suicide Weekend question mark hands up was a video from John McCain from 30 days prior. That's the 30 there, and the 0:28. That's his time of death. The 28 minutes. Possible? Impossible? He's asking, is it impossible? How can he give the time of day that McCain dies 30 days prior? Coincidence? Question mark. We are in control. Big week ahead. No kidding. Big week ahead. August 26th to where we're at right now. So the 3rd. Uh, so we're talking about just over a week right now. So John McCain, in this other video, and I'm going to summarize it. What he was saying is that John McCain was picked up early in the year and flipped against the cabal. Been feeding information to the military, and that's why he has been out of sight. The story about him with brain cancer and all that is just a cover story to basically say why he's not in the public. But he was picked up for treason. Treason is punishable by death. Firing squad. You're a traitor, you die. So suicide weekend announced prior means is okay, John, thanks for turning all this evidence against the cabal. Thank you for your help. In 30 days, we want you to commit suicide. Oh, yeah, sure. No. So he was saying that possibly what's happened is that they needed to get him out of the limelight before all of this stuff comes down. So no one goes looking to him, trying to find him for asking questions or whatever. Or the focus doesn't need to be on him. And maybe it's a way to give him some sort of legacy. I never liked this guy since I was in high school. And I heard about the Keating Five, and he was part of that, where they stole $500 million from the savings and loans. He's part of the group that stole all this money. So he's basically now out of the picture, and Q basically said he didn't go on his own terms. Anyway, so that's what this is all about. Big puzzle piece, Sarah Carter. So this was the opening salvo right here with first chapter 1 of the first movie, Suicide Weekend. John is gone, right? But flashback, picked up for treason, 30 days. Picked up for treason 6 months prior. Spills his guts. Gets a way out, so he's still alive, but he's now taken out of the world view before the big week, which is the start of this week. The Sarah Carter article now labeling the whistleblower that discovered Halper, who was the one that set up the meeting with the Russians in Australia for a seminar and invited the Trump's campaign people into this seminar where they already invited the Russians. And this was set up by Hillary. Evidence is there. So now the whole Russia gate is now flipped around. It's all on Hillary. Hillary is the one that's collaborating with the Russians. All right. So think for yourself, trust your own research, trust yourself, clickbait. So when it's talking about these things, it says that the fake news media keeps saying, look over here, look over here, look over here. What we were saying to look over there about what had to do everything with like Tony Blair warning Trump that there was that there were Russian spies. Nothing to do with what people should be focused on. And of course, it did not work because people are waking up in the Great Awakening. So this one, it was the Dems who colluded with Russia. Putin, McCain did not depart on his own terms. So he left the scene not on his own terms, right? Now, if you commit suicide, that's on your own terms, right? But if you're said to have been suicided, but you're still alive, that's not on your terms, right? You're in the back. Anyway, just these are how the researchers have put things together. So next chapter. All right. We'll pass by the Russia Gate stuff that was going on here, basically focusing on Bruce Orr's testimony just happened just before he goes to testify. So all the news breaks, right? And they're watching QAnon. They know this stuff is what's coming down the line. They go, oh no, now they have the whole story about Halper. We're stuck. He goes to basically do his testimony. Is he going to still hold the line as a firewall against all this information coming out? No, he's not. He's going to flip. He flipped. Witch hunt, no deals. And you say witch hunt is usually referring to Hillary. Hillary, no deals for Hillary. Treason. Punishment is death by firing squad. All right. Fast forward here. This is all about how the information got traveled. Bruce Orr to the UK to Australia. Australia to the UK to Bruce Orr. Right, so basically that's how they separated the information out so that no one was directly communicating. Then this system we're talking about Nazism and Antifa, part of the global socialist push, right? And FBI leaked info to stories to get the FISA warrant. So the FBI took this information, right, that was made by Steele, this dossier that was put together from information that was paid for by Hillary to find out or put into a situation where they created this Russian story by setting up Trump's people to go in, and they're the ones with the Russian connections. That's what that's all about. Okay. More on that. So Obama directed the treasonous spying operation on Trump. Treason. Punishable by firing squad. Watch. So we're looking at the whole thing going down now. Watch Iran. So now Iran is also now on the table. So then again, this information is about everything. So it goes, it's an interwoven story. So that's like, okay, watch Iran. What else? Define treason, right? These articles down below, people don't even know what treason is anymore. It's like, means, oh, I didn't agree with the president, so that's treason. I think as crazy as that is, no. It's about when you go against what your oath and your against your country, to turn against and collude with the enemy, both foreign and domestic enemies. You have domestic enemies and you're colluding with them, you are committing treason. Okay. Obama directed treasonous spying operation, right? How did that work? I remember I don't know if you picked up on this before, but Obama set up his own White House outside of the White House, because when he was always leaving, he set up his own command center. Hillary had the 7th floor of the State Department where shadow government was in operation. Trump dismantled it. QAnon censorship on Microsoft Xbox. Xbox game systems, right, where people are playing together, peer to peer in a game world, can talk, can chat. Well, this is where the conspirators of the treasonous events were conspiring, and then for whatever reason, after this is announced, what happens? Microsoft takes the whole system offline and whitewashes it. Is that also treason? Interesting. So much. Okay. Google to be regulated. MSN defending at all costs. So, You can see Trump has been making some comments about that, and he that's another one of those statements that he makes is like, now this is already planned out what's going to happen, but Trump makes a statement like, well, it's really bad. They're doing the censorship. They better do the right thing, or I'm gonna have to get involved. Setting the stage for when he actually starts getting involved in the public eye, so people start waking up. This is the wake up call, the Great Awakening. The shady history of the Iran deal and the players involved. Okay. Who paid Hussein to attend Harvard Law School? Which Hussein? Hussein. Is that Barack Obama? Yeah, maybe it is. We're talking about Barack Obama. Who paid for his school? Interesting. Yeah, Kerry should be very nervous. Also, listen here. It's like, who is the mayor? Former Richard Daley. Who's the current mayor? Hussein should be very nervous. Brene, Brene, Brenan, I don't know who that is, should be very nervous. Kerry should be very nervous. Merkel should be very nervous. Plus 29 others should be nervous. These numbers come down in line. They have a list, right? They're just giving you a taste of it. Q is basically giving us the crumbs to follow. Blue skies for clown. Oh, not sure. Oh, when was the joint plan of action, Iran deal, executed? Anyway, I haven't gone into too much on the Iran deal, but there's some things that I remember about it that were very odd. They gave cash, hundreds of billions of dollars in cash, plane loads of cash. Why? Cash. Why didn't they do a wire transfer? So this is talking about U.S. Holy See relations. Basically, saying that what is the one of the things to do this is, what is the Holy See? Well, that is basically the governing body of the Vatican. What is a relationship? They start pointing it out. In this, it's a Fox News article. House of God, only the beginning. Those who are you are taught to trust the most. So you're supposed to trust them, right? So you're taught. Expect many, many, many similar reports surfacing from around the world. It goes a lot deeper. Right. So we are Q. Right? This is very good. So early drops, Q mentioned Godfather 3. Michael Caruso is fighting the corrupt elements of the Vatican in Godfather 3. Well, Trump is from New York, right? He's fighting the Cabal. That's the reference he's making there. So talking about Iron Eagle, right? Double meaning exists. So this is Gloria Vanderbilt with Anderson Cooper on her lap there, right? Now he's a CIA asset in CNN, CIA network, news network. Okay. Now look at the symbolism around here. See the cross? Look at the cross. Remember the Iron Cross of the Nazis? It's not exactly the swastika one, but there's the Iron Cross around her neck. There's an Iron Cross around the Pope's neck. All these symbolism. Look at the hammer and sickle, right? Look at this one. Iron Cross, hammer, and sickle. So there's a connection here. It's all symbolism. Here it says symbolism will be their downfall. Downfall of the Pope. Okay? And we're talking about Antifa and then the Nazis. They have the similarity in their flag. It's the same thing. So what does it say? Stay local, U.S. Global equals reflection of local. Think mirror. Know your enemy. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Now keep this in mind. Knowledge is power. Keep every battle is won before it's ever fought. That means trust the plan. What they're doing. I'm not worried that we're at DEFCON 4. I'm not worried that all the aircraft were in the air because they already won. They already won. Someone just sent me a message. Let me see. What is the message? Oh, hello. It's just a hello. I see you there. Sorry, I've been really focused on. I haven't looking at any questions or anything. But you're welcome to join me on the Zoom link. It's posted on the YouTube channel in the chat at the very top. So you're welcome to join in and have part of the conversation. But we've got a lot to still go over. Will be a long broadcast. All right. Okay. We're gonna go forward here. So this is basically on the Columbine shooter, right? It has Antifa and the Iron Cross stuff on his clothing. So what was happening with him? Right. Okay, truth will shine, impossible to ignore. Yeah, this is more about Columbine. So, by history book published 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and this year. Compare World War I, World War II. Something alarming will be discovered. So I haven't looked at it or heard anything about that, but you can tell that you change what history says over time, and people won't notice. You do it all at one time. What's going on? What's in this book? All right. Okay. Red October, red wave coming, midterm elections. All right. So this is in YouTube. Let's see what this. We'll flip over to this.
And corrupt. Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment with a new government controlled by you, the American people. The Washington establishment and the financial and media corporations that fund it exist for only one reason: to protect and enrich itself. The establishment has trillions of dollars at stake in this election. For those who control the levers of power in Washington, and for the global special interest, they partner with these people that don't have your good in mind. Our campaign represents a true existential threat like we haven't seen before.
This is an amazing video. I recommend you go through it. It's 5 minutes, but you get the idea. That was before Trump was elected. They set up exactly what he was going to do. He's going to go after the cabal, return the government to the people. All right. Let's see what else is here. So now we're looking into clowns revealed in China. So this clowns means CIA, right? Sold the intel, 187. That's 187 people. 187. Don't know. Hillary, open source server, missing emails, CrowdStrike, granted access, betrayed, only the tip. This will be made public soon. So we're talking about what was on Hillary's. Was she paid to allow her emails to go to China, to put stuff on the whole on her server to allow this to happen? Okay, China was granted access to Hillary's servers via CrowdStrike. Okay, never in our history has this been attempted. Okay, so this is just from an anonymous, but it's posted by Q. He liked what was said. I'm an isolated with my husband, and thank God for our dogs, our family. We can't even mention the president's name, so we don't push it. So push it hurts so much. We will stay strong. We're trying not to become bitter and angry. We're prepared to help and answer when a time comes. I know I need us. I know they need us more than ever, especially my oldest because she studied so hard to get a job in your country in CV. I know for sure that she is not a liberal brainwashed person. My other baby is an autist, and she asked me questions over the news coverage and why they all tell us the same. Please, Q, you must say this. Your team and Pontus are so very loved by us. God bless you from the Netherlands. So this is from around the world. People understand what's going on here. You're not alone, Patriot. You're a part of history. Never in our history has this been attempted. God bless you and your family. Stay strong. Stay the course. So I think this is like where we go one, we go all. Is what that stands for. So this is a worldwide event, right? That we are taking out the cabal worldwide. Again, Hillary sold information leading to unmasking killing of CIA agents and operating in China. Hillary sold out the agents that were in China for money. Can you kill her more than one? Can you have more than, basically shoot her and then stop her from dying and then bring her back up and shoot her again? I don't know. This is, it's amazing how evil this woman is. And it's really hard to fathom. Okay, Senator Dianne Feinstein knew about the Chinese spy on her payroll for 20 years. Never liked her. Power position in the world. All right. Children are being kidnapped, tortured, raped, and sacrificed. Patriot, a little perspective. Patriots are dying to defend the great country and freedom she provides. Children are being kidnapped, tortured, raped, sacrificed in the name of pure evil. Stay the course. We are fighting a deeply entrenched enemy. Think Lisa Barsunian. Smile. We will be 2018 will be glorious. So we're talking this year, 2018, it will be glorious. We're routing them now. This is the wake up call. That's what QAnon is all about. This is the Q-volution. Be focused on what's going on around you. There's some things coming up we'll get into, but it means be prepared, and this is serious. Okay. MNQ. Okay. For those of us who stayed the course for 20 plus years, we have gone alone. We have stood firm in the defense of truth. Yet many of us had few friends and couldn't do much in the real world. The penalties for speaking up for truth have been severe for decades and have lived a life in the shadows. I wasn't worth speaking out until now. The world is now united, Q says. History books, fake news, suppression, creates false reality. This movement is bigger than you can imagine. Silent majority, no more. Q. So Q is now, bringing up and pointing out that this is a worldwide event. This is about the world. All right. It'll be glorious once those responsible are dead or suffering. Okay, so this is like will be glorious. In my humble opinion, sir, it already is. Right? In our opinion, until those responsible are dead and or suffering, it will remain. Will be. So they're going to continue this. They're not going to let up. They're going to rout all the evil. Reread drops to understand what needs to happen before the arrests begin. Before the arrests begin, what has to happen? The Great Awakening. You just can't, on one day, 99% of the people find out, that everybody's been arrested off of CNN and MSNBC, the banks, the heads of corporations, right? They're all gone. Oh, we arrested them all. What? Why? What happened? No. But how do you get out the information if the whole media structure is controlled by them? Q. That's the way. So, okay, patriots fight, read, comprehend, use logic. So what's up with Assange, Julian Assange? Did you remember that our enemy also monitoring this board? See above, reflect, use logic. So basically, don't ask about Assange. All right, one person is above another. Well, on the Julian Assange, he was he's been in the in the embassy, locked up, couldn't leave, with citizenship from he's from Argentina, I believe. He had changed his citizenship, so when he's part of the citizen, he's in there but stuck in Britain. So, but Britain's been trying every which way to get him out. So, some question as to is he still there? Stay the course and trust the plan. Stay the course and trust the plan. Where we go one, we go all. Sure, boss, it sure was lonely before you came along. Thank you guys for taking these risks and concerning the plan. We are all in this together. We are all right here for this purpose. Love you guys. No one person is above another. Why does fake news media put so much time and energy and effort into attacking our so-called conspiracy? Those who are attacked the most are the biggest threat. Logic wins every single time. So when you can get out the information, you present it to people, they will basically recognize it. Some will be in a state of denial for a while, but they will learn to accept it because it's not about, left versus right. It's good versus evil. And most people are not evil. Yes, there's a bigger segment of evil now because they've been fostering it. They've been promoting it. They've been giving the people the benefits of when you do the evil things, you get more power. Set up that way. People took the long road. Again, back to Star Wars reference. The road to the dark side is a slippery path. You start down that road, small little things. All of a sudden, you don't recognize the world you're in because you're in the cesspool. All right. Hey Q, does P mean paisier? When do we start seeing the pain? Paisier. I don't know that. Okay. Treason. Thanks for selling all of our secrets to the highest bidder, Hillary. You should be locked up. You didn't think military planes were falling out of the skies all within a short period of time just by chance, did you? Outside the standard deviation. So now, what planes falling out of the sky, right? There were planes falling out of the sky. All right. Bigger than wall. So this is bigger than Watergate. Biggest scandal in U.S. history. Crickets. Fake news. Again, as I said earlier, we're at DEFCON 4. The CIA's blind. The satellites are offline. The servers are offline. In the news? No. Crickets. Fake news. Desperate to shelter. Define shelter. A space giving temporary protection from bad weather or danger. Danger. Okay, Texas Congresswoman offers Uber the transcript on Orr's testimony. Are you watching Hannity? Did you hear what Texas Congressman just stated? It's interesting. About Orr, I guess. Let's see. They're going back to this trust the plan. Hubbard has everything. So back to the Russia collusion story. It's all coming out now. This goes into the depth of who were the Russians, how did it come about, all the step by step. It's all there. It's the evidence is now on a silver platter. No doubt, Hillary, Obama conspired, and that both of these things are treasonous events. The way they've been constructed. Oh, and by the way, it'll probably where are we at? We've got a ways to go. But anyway, it looks like Obama signed his own pardon as well as for others in his cabinet and other people. He pardoned everybody, but it doesn't include for military crimes or crimes outside the United States. So, what are the odds the FBI and DOJ are right at the top of this? What are they referring to here? Okay, report just out. China hacked Hillary Clinton's private email server. They're sure it wasn't Russia. Just kidding. Pretty sure it wasn't Russia. What are the odds that FBI and DOJ are right on top of this? Actually, a very big story. Too much classified information. That's from Trump. Oh yeah. Anyone with a functioning brain knew her private server was vulnerable to the hacks. Right. Anyway, we'll leave this go now. We know what it is. Oops. So about the testimonial of Bruce Orr. So we'll just click on one of these. So this, he basically went to testify, but it was behind closed doors. What is this? Electronic transmission. Dear Attorney General Sessions, Deputy. Oh, okay, well, let's not go through that. That's intense. All right. It's all right. That's on Breitbart. We'll skip by some of this because there's so much that I don't want to spend too much time. Just know that this is now unfolding. That everything you're dealing with the Russia Gate is now flipped around to Hillary and Obama, and some Bush in there, just because of Helper was a close confidant of Bush. Probably Bush said, "You guys need some help." Anyway, big statement. What's coming? What is this big statement, Donald Trump? See, giving the heads up. Hillary Clinton's emails, many of which are classified information, got hacked by China. Next move better be by FBI and DOJ, or after all of their other missteps, Comey, McCabe, let's say that name, Page, or FISA, dirty dossier, their credibility will be forever gone. Well, it is gone. Yeah, their credibility is gone. All right, another big statement. So basically, Trump is beating the drum, right? Keeping the beat. So their credibility is gone. He's telling the world their credibility is gone. The FBI, DOJ, Mueller, they're gone. Even Session is in that group, right? But should they actually be in that group? Another one from Trump. Let's see what this one. Oh, that's the same one. I'm sorry. All right. What is this? Why is this is from one of the other. Why is POTUS pushing the FBI and DOJ on this issue? Right? Why is he pushing? That's why I said it's because he's giving the drum beat. This is all coordinated. This is a military operation. The battles are won before they actually began. Why is POTUS pushing the FBI and DOJ on the issue? What if the access to the servers was deliberate? What if this is known within the intelligence community? And so on. Anyway, reconcile 1 equals 0, 1 equals 0, evidence of ongoing investigation. Error made. Okay, what's the same? Swap of W with in. Long day. He's had a long day. Okay. Anyway, let's go on here. No title for these yet. So why Pontus push the FBI DOJ on this issue? Usually the titles float back in later when it's obvious where everyone figured out what they mean. The titles appear later. All right. Why is POTUS pushing the same thing? Okay. Okay. Why is Trump pushing this beat, right? What if the paper trail exists? PDB via no such agency. Hussein made aware with no action. Why did Pontus refuse select PDBs during transition? Who knew? Threat assessment. Admiral Rogers? Flynn? Why did Hussein and Hillary, Obama and Hillary, admin and staff use private email communication? Was Hillary the only one to use unsecured servers? If access was granted Hillary private servers, can you assume access was granted to House servers? RE Awan Pakistan Intelligence, Awan Free, Huma Aberdeen, I believe, Muslim Brotherhood, right? Matters of national security. So more servers going to be coming down the line. So here's Fox News and Reuters hacking the servers. So we're gonna kind of slide past this because we're let's go on past the Bruce Orr stuff. Wait, let's see this one. Yeah, this is all going into the details, right? And how to follow this. James Baker fired, resigned, false. No, he was fired, removed. January fired. Lisa Page fired. So these people are being fired, right? Fired. Joseph Campbell fired. All these people. Assistant Attorney General fired, forced. So there's cleaning up happening, right? You notice a pattern. 5-4-18, Bruce Orr demoted 2 times for cooperating witness, power removed. So he has no power, but he's cooperating. So he's still hanging out, right? But you no longer have power, but you're still here where we can keep an eye on you. Bruce Orr. House testimony. Peter Strzok. That's what this Strzok. Cooperating witness. Power removed. Interesting. House testimony. Lisa Page. Cooperating witness. Power removed. So here's the pattern. See, now he's pointing out what we should be looking at, right? All these people that are coming out, they, again, the battle's won before they began the battle. So they're already talking about this as being, they already put this out there. They already have them in place, had them step down, demoted them, removed their power, but they're still part of the game, right? They have to follow through. Yeah, QAnon. How many result hits on QAnon? 3.8 million on Google. Nothing to see here. When he says nothing to see here, it means something to see here. All right. Logical thinking. How does this fake news? Let's go. bypass something here. Go up. All right. Again, all this is more on the fires. I'm going to skip by this. Again, it's about Bruce Orr and all the stuff that's going on. Mueller hasn't interviewed Bruce Orr, but apparently John Huber wasn't there either. So anyway, this goes deep, but all the details are there. It's all unfolding. It's going to come out. Hannity YouTube link. Okay. What does Hannity have to say? I think I know which one it is.
Prisoner. And we made a decision that we want to do something positive for Otto. We don't want this to happen to anybody, other family, or anyone else. Yes. And that's what motivates me to be here tonight.
Well, you said something to me. Sadly, we're almost out of time, but you said something to me in the break that really resonated. You said, if this becomes law, every time the North Koreans violate it, they'll have to say his name.
It is a great sanctions bill for two reasons. And
so I think we'll have to skip this one. I don't know exactly where they want to point out what's going on there. So anyway, okay. Interview dates. Okay. Anyway, you can go deep into these and investigate. That's why this is here. All right. Shall we play a game? Okay. All right. Let's go look at this. Tanya Goretz, for FBI agent. Okay. I don't know what that is. Okay, Ms. Goretz oversaw intelligence products briefings for the FBI Director and Attorney General, as well as FBI analyst contributors for the President's Daily Brief. Who discovered the Chinese link to Hillary servers? Who reported the discovery? Who inserted discovery into the Presidential Daily Brief? PDB. Paper trail. Okay. Okay, more on the emails. So this symbol is Punisher. Again, this symbol, the Punisher, is actually, if the story is about, again, back to New York, it's someone who is punishing the bad people. So there's some overlap there with Trump, right? AQ, Irish Anon here. Hence, post number 1, getting married soon, along with the team. Take 5 minutes out of your hectic schedule, knock your heads together, and pick a tune. Congratulations. And I guess there's just a nice little bit of a socializing here going on with Q. All right. Who pulled the trigger? Seemed to prefer no, not exactly wedding material. Oh. We'll skip by this stuff. Okay. All right. Washington Post, Monkey Cage, QAnon conspiracy movement, unpopular. Oh, this is where, the fake news is saying Q is unpopular. Obama, whenever they're saying Obama was popular, they said Trump is unpopular. Hillary is so popular. You can't trust what they say. So just ignore them pretty much. Okay. Anyway, spooks are spooked. Clowns inserted Snowden 2 last year. Operation fail. Expect a big coordinated wave of attacks by fake news. So Snowden 2, meaning that there was another one from Bruce Hamilton. That same organization that Snowden worked for is now the second guy doing exactly the same thing, but it didn't work. He was basically to give bad attention by the NSA. Of course, the NSA is now military controlled, and we're all watching a military operation here. And they want to basically start discrediting the NSA again. Okay, those who are attacked the most are the biggest threat. So Q is being attacked. All right. Uh, Washington Post, why Bezos, Amazon, Q, and Trump unpopulars? No, they fear Trump and Q. Yeah. Think about this. Did Washington Post dedicate research to conduct an actual poll on QAnon? All for conspiracy? What? Ask yourself why. So, would they actually spend money, or they just make up numbers? No. Talk about a made-up number. The New York Times. There will never be a safer election, and why vote for a third? Okay, so Clinton 98%, Trump 1%. All right, fake news. Okay, again about McCain. I know anything about on the board, but we the people don't deserve the bullshit soap opera regarding this clown. Okay, this is kind of an important thing to understand. Even though I'm making projections about what may have happened with McCain from other people, what he's saying here is to preserve the republic, some things must remain buried. That may mean McCain is going to remain buried, whether he's actually in the ground or underground. Uh, he is alive and being kept out of the limelight, or he's actually is dead for treason. One way or another, to preserve the republic, some things will be put aside. All right. Okay. Do the Washington Post? Okay. Skip that. I kind of covered it anyway. Okay. The truth must be exposed. The people need to know how we can prevent it in the future if we're going to go through the truth, the whole truth, never comes to light. Those who ignore history, that includes history, hidden truth, are doomed to repeat it. So he's pointing this out. Ask yourself who's trying to start a war. Ask yourself if a missile was launched at a rogue actors, what would be the purpose? Ask yourself what should be immediate. What would should immediately start a war? Ask yourself, would the public understand the following statement? Rogue actors, clowns, U.S. former heads of state, initiate a missile launch in order to force the U.S. into a war conflict against X. So would the rogue would the public understand that statement? Rogue actors initiated a missile launch in order to force the U.S. into a war against North Korea, against Mexico, any name, right? Whatever they want to come up with, would would the public recognize that? Okay, so basically, the CIA launches a missile to force the U.S. into a war with the people. What do you mean the CIA did that? Why did they do that? All right. We believe in full transparency, hence the reason why we are here, hence the reason why the people are being updated. Emphasize on some things. The world is connected. Some things should irreparably harm our ability to advance. So he's basically saying there are certain things that if they were known, would actually hamper what's going on, harm the Great Awakening, harm the plan. So whenever you want to say that it's a certain truths are going to be um, sidelined so that everything else can proceed because you don't get bogged down in this one or this battle or this battle. So you avoid that battle for right now. All right. Everything stated has meaning. That's one of the things. So what did Trump say here? Wow, Nellie Orr, Bruce Orr's wife, is a Russian expert who is fluent in Russian. She worked for Fusion GPS, where she was paid a lot. Collusion. Bruce was the boss at the Department of Justice and is unbelievably still there. How is he still there? we're still on the Russian story, but we're gonna, yeah, we want to point out again, drumbeat by Trump. Maybe I should say Trump blowing the trumpet. So drumbeat. Drumbeat, I think, works better. Fox News. Hey, has POTUS made statements, hence being elected, that didn't end up having proven factually true? Everything stated by POTUS will be made public. Follow the leader. Focus here. The ICIG declined to comment. Okay, Snowden 2. I'll skip that. Okay, oh, now we're getting to the first page. We've only got 65 posts to go, my goodness. All right, but we're going to skip by the Russia Gate, move forward. What's on Russia Gate? We'll just pass it by. What is this one? Oh, it's about the elections. Same thing, focusing on. So bypass. Here we go. All right, Snow White 3 now offline. That is at 6:30 a.m. Right, on August 31st. So today is say the second in regards to this time scale. So we're just talking about 2 days ago. Snow White 3 offline. Now he made a comment on that. He said Snow White 4 now offline. So that's a matter of 4 minutes later, 5 minutes later. All right, then this one, another 2 minutes later, Snow White 6 is now offline. Then Snow White 7 is offline. Package complete. Have a nice day. So Snow White dwarfs are offline. All right. Corona 1 now offline. So this was 6:44, from 6:37 to 6:44. I was saying it was 20 minutes apart. I just kind of gave an estimate. So yeah, so we're really only talking about 7 minutes later. They take Corona offline. Now this is Corona 1, and then Corona 4. Is another couple minutes later. Corona 8 reroute. Corona 8 new control. Corona 8 now offline. Corona 16 reroute. Corona now 16 now offline. So you can see that it's blow by blow. These things are coming offline, right? Blind eyes in the sky. Shall we play a game? That's a reference to the Matthew Broderick film, where the computers were giving control over the U.S. military, and then it was going to declare war and blow up everyone as the solution. So, but there was no winners, right? And so they had to play tic-tac-toe to find out if you start a nuclear war, everyone loses. The only outcome is if you decide that not to play the game. Anyway, shall we play a game? We're playing a game, definitely. I keep getting a file 2 errors. Anyone else? Disruption and good to go. All right. Big Bird 9 now offline. Yeah, more Big Birds. All right. Okay, then this is very, very, very good. Look at this. This is just keep POTUS safe, Q. And then Q says, we will gladly end our lives to ensure he lives more than you can imagine, Q. You can see that this is like a once in a lifetime event. We are defeating the Cabal, the plan that's been against the whole world for so long by the evil, to turn this whole world into an evil cesspool. See how prevalent it has become. But now we're fighting back. we're making our moves, and we have to save the president. Okay, now here we go. More shots fired. Okay, GCHQ Bud sent the stress sig at 8:09 Eastern Standard Time. NSA, no more. NSA, no more. So it's not part of the NSA. It's gone. All right. Main frequency bands terminated. Goodbye. So Q has terminated their ability to have access to all the seeing, hearing, everything that's going around. Does it sound like a military operation? Set all the pieces up ahead of time, get everyone in position, and then execute step by step. Drumbeat. McCain, you're going to be committing suicide in 30 days. Okay. Okay, on Fox now, or kept Weissman in the loop on the dossier. Big. All right, back. Okay, we're going to skip this. Okay. Let's see, what's this? The whole world is watching. Fox News, politics, Trump dossier. We're not going to go into this anymore. Again, the Punisher. Let's see what Trump had to say about that. Oh, this is, Washington Examiner. Let's see what this is. Oh, this is the Indiana rally. This is very good. It's not playing. Hello. Interesting. Reset. See if that'll work. Anyway, this is the part where it says, look at what she's getting away with. But let's see if she gets away with it. Remember, that's what also stuck out to me when I first was listening to it. Wow. So for some reason, it's not playing, but it's good to find it and go listen to it. All right. The Punisher, right? From New York, punishing the crime bosses. Okay. Utah. What are the odds of that? What are the odds if you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear? NSA.gov, Utah Data Center. Interesting. Why does it say okay? I don't want to press okay. Why is it didn't do that last time? I'm not going to press okay. I'm going to press cancel. All right. Information comes in many forms. Okay. NSA. Oh, I think what that had to do with is there is it's an alternative news site. It's actually not the real data center, but they're giving some interesting articles about what's actually happening. It's kind of like a watchdog type site, a fake one about the NSA site, but has interesting information. Now I know I would have clicked on that, but we'll bypass that. Let's keep going here. Okay, what do we have here? Washington Post. This is more. Let's see the samples on what they're trying to shovel here on Politico. Yeah, disapproval. So Trump's disapproval rating is up 60%. Now we know that's not true. So this is the craziness that they put out there. Think Polls posted yesterday by Washington Post. What are the odds of that, right? Oh, hey, they just commissioned a poll. Well, like a second ago, let's just make up the number. 60% disapproval. That sounds good. All right. Think Washington Post. QAnon yesterday poll, right? POTUS today. Notice the similarities. We're both 60% unpopular. All right. Fake news readers asleep, not attentive or alert, inactive. Told to support sessions. Every battle is won before it's ever fought. Are you awake? I'm awake. I'm awake. All right. Anonymous. Two more posters leave Mueller. Okay. I'm sorry. Two more. Two more prosecutors leave Mueller. So I see. I'm not sure. One cybercrime expert spokesman says not due to political bias or wrongdoing. Okay. Two more prosecutors leave. So basically, the prosecutors are leaving. One was specialty was in cybercrime. So let's just say, think Washington Post, QAnon yesterday. Notice similarities, fake news. So yeah, notice similarities to this, like endorsements by newspapers. None under Trump. Everyone's under Hillary. Okay, this is all about the fake news. We'll skip this. Okay, like clockwork. Again, this is all. Every battle is won before it's fought. Like clockwork, they execute things one at a time. Snow White off. Dwarf number 1, dwarf number 2, dwarf number 3, dwarf number 4, all 7. Eyes in the sky, Big Bird down. They're all shut off like clockwork. Okay. Again, Bruce Orr. We'll skip by this at the point, I think. But this meeting here. Yeah, let's not go into this right now. All right. More fires. Okay. About the budget. Officials collapse on the budget. Okay. On the side. Why California elected officials knowing collapsed budget. Okay. Big Pharma donates how much to California and New York elected officials? Compare versus other states. Why California and New York are vital areas of control. Think ports. Moving drugs in and out of the countries. Think legal protection. Okay. Tell us what's the issue. So you think about the ports and legal protection. Why are they focused on New York and California? We will do the job to protect the vote. You do yours. Fight, fight, fight. Let's go and vote. Okay. Flags. All right. Where we go one, we go all. There it is. WWG1 WGA. We the people, from sea to shining sea, let freedom ring. Patriots, it's your time. If America falls, the world falls. Unite, united we stand. God bless you all. Q plus. Q plus means Q in the team. People around Q. They're giving us. Go vote. This is about the vote. We're still how far away from the vote, but let's get out the vote. This is the time. This is the battle. Breaking news. Response to JWFOIA lawsuit. DOJ admits that Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court held no hearings on the FISA spy applications targeting Carter Page, former Trump campaign advisor, who was subject to 4 FISA warrants. So they had no hearings. So is this a kangaroo court? Yes. The FISA court is a kangaroo court. My goodness, no hearings. Yeah, well, but again, it's all about the Russia Spygate again, right? All the setups. So let's skip by this now. So again, FISA court. We'll skip this FISA court. Special approval, right? Set up X1, the Hill News Administration, Homeland Security, a special attorney on a Russian lawyer. Back to we're still on the Russia, but yeah, this is more on the Russian. It's a big part of this, but it can get very deep, and there's a lot still to go through. So let's bypass some of this. They want keys to the kingdom. Let's see what this is about. Who wants the keys to the kingdom? These are the CIA people that are infiltrating the different parts. So they're running for Congress. So the CIA puts all their people. Now, CIA is only to deal with foreign intelligence outside. They collect foreign intelligence. Why are they having their people inside running for Congress, inside corporations in the U.S.? So anyway, they want keys to the kingdom. That's why. Okay. This is interesting. All right. Let's bring up this photo. All right. So remember these people, right? There's all these people in this photo. But who's this? Who is that? I know who it is. Anyway, we'll leave that go for a while. Remember, no, we'll just let that be for a while. We'll leave it be a surprise. It says soon, right? Because all the action is going to be taking place soon. All this is coming about soon. We're 9 weeks before the election. You think, that this isn't going to be made coming out. This is the drumbeat to get it all out by the time we get into October. But the October surprise. Remember, they always do all the surprise stuff and get people to maddest about stuff in October. So when you go to the polls, yeah, you can recognize who this guy is. All right. Hillary's email. They call her Alice. Well, that's from the Hatter. Now, without going into all that because it's very cryptic, I'm going to go into this. Basically, simplified: Alice in Wonderland, Hillary in Saudi Arabia. References: Hillary Clinton in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Saudi Arabia, the bloody Wonderland. How could we know? Interesting. But how could we know? Virtual reading room documents. Oh, in documents. Okay. Well, it's written out. Okay, that's what's being said. All right. Let's go up here. We're in the Alice in Wonderland. So to shorten this up, Alice in Wonderland. Hillary is Alice. The Mad Hatter is a general, Republican general. They're talking about in emails about them going and visiting, and basically Hillary is a pimp for bringing people to the island, bringing people to the Saudi Arabia into Wonderland, where all these perversions are allowed. So now there's going back in this since Q was putting all this out since October, it was defining three parts of this pyramid, three sides of this as a financial pyramid of control. This was, Rothschilds being one, the Vatican being two, and the third is Saudi Arabia. Why? The petrodollar. So if you remember all of these princes that got arrested some months ago, Saudi Arabia flipped. They lost that control. Okay. Do you believe in coincidences? Let's see what the Trump have to say. The ABC Washington Post poll was by far the least accurate one 2 weeks out from the 2016-11. I call it suppression poll, but by election day, they brought us out of our shame to about even. Okay, they put them about even on election day. Okay. Will they never learn? No, they won't learn. Okay. Yeah, this is. So we're talking about this. This is referring to Alice in Wonderland. We're talking about the sex trafficking, the basically human trafficking. satanic worship, all of this. So, SA, Saudi Arabia, access closed. Remember I said they flipped. Epstein Island, access closed. Haiti, access closed. Um, North Korea, access closed. China, access closed. Russia, access closed. Cuba, access closed. Sudan, access pending. Government, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, and U.S. are pushing. Syria, pending. Uh, Working on the government, I guess. Yemen, access pending. Again, Saudi Arabia and U.S. are pushing. Okay, Libya, access pending. Main port is closed. It's limited accessibility. And then Somalia, access pending. Saudi Arabia and U.S. are pushing. So again, Saudi Arabia has flipped. Okay, Hillary is Alice. Saudi Arabia is Wonderland. Who are the white rabbits? Read the drops. Re Saudi Arabia. Have faith for God and country. So who are the white rabbits? All right. Again, we'll go over the same section, but then let's look at what this is about. Child marriage is still an issue in Saudi Arabia. We don't have to really go into too much of that. We already know that's something that shouldn't be going on. I do, in my first marriage, I was married to a woman from India, and I did, come to know that some of those customs there, that they would arrange a marriage between a boy and girl when they're very young. But the parents did this for for the families to get together in a way. They arranged this, but there's no actual where they have sex with each other and do that. So it's a definition between that there are some ways you can say that there would be kind of a spiritual marriage done in a way, well, in this setup. Now, whether you think it's right or wrong, there's definitely a line to be drawn there between when you're talking about sexualizing adults having sex with children. That's where really the line has to be drawn. Again, Saudi migrant workers subject to abuse. Now, being in the Philippines, this is very evident here. President Duterte has come out and actually went up against the several Arab countries because Filipino workers, overseas foreign workers, end up being abused. And there was one became famous, is a bad way of putting it, but in the public eye of someone who actually died. And then Duterte stopped people being able to travel to that country and made it a big issue. So these are things that are something that we should be really aware of. Okay. Saudi Arabia was a priority. We wish this was a dream. Right? Yeah. It's hard to believe a lot of stuff. So here, who are the white rabbits? Click on this. Now you see that the faces on them they're a mask, right? And they're wearing a rabbit suit. And what they're doing to a smaller rabbit. So this is like an adult rabbit and then a baby rabbit. So what is happening? What is happening here? I really can't make out what's being done here on the ground. But oh look, this is a mask of a child. right? They're going to put that maskage out on this bunny. What are they going to do? Are those rabbit ears? I can't quite tell what that is about. You can tell that is not something that is very. It's disturbing, and you can tell. So here's more. So the baby rabbits are blindfolded. There's a bat in the hand over here. They're going to be hanging these children with a rope. I'm saying children. So who are the white rabbits? We'll go into this one. This is a put together the kind of say the talk about again it's the dates and times talking about when they're mentioning Alice in Wonderland. What is it all about? Right? Really just laying it out over time when it's first mentioned and why is it so important, right? And it's this Q used the signatures of Alice in Wonderland to signal the events of President Trump going to Saudi Arabia to reset the alliance and relationship with Saudi Arabia formed under Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and the high levels of corruption associated with it. Reread the crumbs. Where we go one, we go all. Okay. That's what this YouTube is. So basically, this is really U.S. military power 2018. The U.S. military has power, right? We are basically at war with the Cabal, but it's not so much this right now, but this is going on. These things are happening. Blowing up of the island where the submarine base was, that the Cabal had a decommissioned submarine. That's also one of the things that's been going on. So let's go back here. Okay. And I hope you and Chris enjoy your time in the land of Alice and the Mad Hatter, MH. All the best from Hanoi, H. So nothing to see here. So this is Judicial Watch. Hillary emails. They basically found some more stuff. So now this is a very important one. This is from the White House president. This is from September 2nd. So it's now. This is something that's now. It's posted by Q now, but this was put out on August 31st, so a couple days ago. Presidential proclaims on proclamation. Presidential proclamation on National Preparedness Month 2018. So why is this out here right now? National Preparedness Month is a time to focus on our attention on the importance of preparing our families, homes, businesses, and communities for disasters that threaten our lives, property, and homeland. During this time, we honor the brave men and women who selfishly respond to crises and disasters, rendering aid to those in need. These first responders who work tirelessly to safeguard our nation and protect our citizens deserve our utmost gratitude and appreciation. Over the past year, communities nationwide and across the territories have witnessed and endured damage on multiple hurricanes, wildfires, tornadoes. Anyway, they're talking about being prepared, right? But why are they saying this right now? This month, I encourage all Americans to take opportunity to ensure they have emergency response plan in place and ready to be properly executed. Emergencies and disasters test the resilience and strengths of families, communities, and our nations. It is impossible to avoid every challenge and threat, but we can and must prepare for them. By doing so, we can help protect the communities and save lives. Now and therefore, I, Donald Trump, President of the United States of America, by virtue of authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim September 2018 as National Preparedness Month. Preparedness Month. Sorry for me. I encourage all Americans, including federal, state, and local officials, to take action and prepared for disasters on emergency by making and participating in their emergency response plan. Each step to become a better prepared makes a real difference in how families and communities will respond and be preserved when faced with the unexpected. In witness thereof, I hereby set into my hand the 31st day of August, the year of our Lord. Okay. So basically, it's saying to be prepared, right? So this is something that that he's pointing out here, right? Be prepared. It's just typed it out, put the whole thing here. There's a lot going on. We're at DEF CON 4. New financial system coming online. That means people are going to be freaked out when the money changes. When you have to now there's talk of all sorts of things, but just say that there's a one-for-one exchange. You turn in Federal Reserve notes and pick up United States notes backed in gold, one for one. There should be no freaking out. But these new ones are going to be worth more. They're backed by gold. So, but there's still going to be people that are going to freak out. And with all the things that are going down, who knows what's going to be happening. All right, we're gonna move forward. Let's see, this is CIA officers. Okay, we're just talking about again. The CIA officers are infiltrating every aspect of our society. Well, it's an invasion by the Cabal. It must be hard to communicate. Every moment together is a moment you should not waste. So who's he talking to? Former presidents are still able to arrange SCIFs, skiffs. These are secure areas where they've said that no one can listen to what they have to say. So it's like Maxwell Smart, Get Smart. You know, they'd sit at the conference table and the big dome would come down around them and no one could hear anything. Well, it's along the same lines. So no communication in or out of these areas, so that no electronic surveillance. All right. Does the American taxpayer foot the bill for 12 hotel rooms in close proximity to the central skiff? So the U.S. government's paying for these people to get together, right? SS details, Secret Service details ordered. All right, so they had Secret Service details coming with them. So who gets those Secret Service protections? Ordered at max perimeter def, question mark. Nice color choice. You can see the colors. It's a shame the windows had to be blocked out and eliminate that view. What is Q talking about? What did Q see? What did Q observe? Who's meeting? Former presidents are still able to arrange skiffs? Obama, Bush, Clinton arranging a skiff? 12 hotel rooms? Why are they meeting? It must be hard to communicate. Computers are down. Eyes in the skies are shut. They can't communicate. All right. I don't know who that is. Ezra Cohen Watnick. All right. Okay, well, here's an article. Let's see. Aides ousted from White House reemerges at Justice Department. Okay. For some reason. National Security Council, Russia, China. No, okay. Hawkish. Okay, let's see what that's all about. Time. All right. Bridges connecting people. All right. All right. Dear agents of the FBI Counterintelligence Division, stand strong in your investigation of Trump and Russia. Our nation is relying on you. This is from Ted Lieu. All right. 3, Bill Priestap, head of FBI counterintelligence, Strzok's boss, cooperating witness, power removed. Peter Strzok, deputy assistant director of counterintelligence, cooperating witness, fired. Okay. At least 7 senior Facebook executives have announced their departure this year. 7 senior executives at Facebook have announced that their departure and they're leaving. DARPA. So DARPA is what do you say called DARPA? It's where they would do high tech, out of the box thinking, creating new technologies, surveillance systems, cloaking devices, force fields, all sorts of things that are way out there that with very limited success. Not good success. All right, at least 7 seniors. Okay, that's the same one. Okay, Sergey Brin from Google, founder, born in Moscow, was married to Annie Orchowski, 23andMe founder. All right, was brother-in-law to Susan Wojcicki, CEO of YouTube. DARPA, again. So the CIA had a venture fund and funded Google and Facebook. YouTube, I think, was started by someone just out there, and then Google bought them. All right, so I think for $1 billion. Hard to say no when you're offered $1 billion, right? I must have really wanted that technology. Okay. Sergey Brin, Google founder, that was the same thing, right? And read between the lines. So he's pointing this somewhere. So again, this is about the collusion between the censorship. So we're not going to go into this anymore either, but we'll just kind of follow along here. Paid by operations specialist pre-event last night. Let's see what this is. Okay. All right, Q. Thank you for that. Pre-event last night. Okay. Here's something else. So we're right. We've caught up with where everything was on Q. So why did I get extremely goosebumps while listening to this? Let's see, what is this? Something is going on, right? We're at DEFCON 4. All the Air Force, all the planes were in the air when Trump was in the air on his way to Indiana. Is this something else that was going on? Interesting. Last night, something was happening. So see, you got to piece this stuff together. Why did I get extreme goosebumps while listening to the music from the sword? I guess, is that right? And it's showing this picture, ST6. All right, anonymous. Y'all notice the triangle and all the CNI in the middle of that sword, the magic sword YouTube song, right? Okay. All right, let's close that again. Well, there is an eye in there in the pyramid. That is true. Magic sword in the face of evil. We'll see what that comes to mean. But I'm going to do a reset, see if there's any more Q posts that have come since we started this. Yeah, well, no, that's it. So we're caught up. 2,065 drops, meaning information dropped in. So anyway, that's that. We're all caught up in this screen sharing. I just want to point out, that we are in a war, and we have to do our job. We have things to do. Number one, prepare our families. This is something that requires you to be focused on with all the other things in your life. Can you believe that this is going on? It's not on the news. But I hope by pointing out that these things are happening, that you can tell that that people in government, things are happening. All the resignations, 3,500 resignations in like 6 months. When you get 100 in a year normally, 45,000 indictments, sealed indictments. So these things are coming out, and you have to start waking up. The Great Awakening. Trust the plan. When they're telling us to get prepared, doesn't mean that the worst will happen. And they're trying to minimize it with everything that they're doing. But this is a war. This is something we have to act on, and we have to do our part. Prepare our families. Do the research yourself. Investigate these things. Let people know. Wake up. Don't try and force people to wake up. It doesn't work. Just let them know. Friendly advice. Buy some extra rice and pasta, beans, lentils. These dried goods that you can keep on hand. Canned foods, tuna, spam, canned meats, things like that you can keep on hand for a while, but enough to last you for a couple weeks. Water, filters for water, ways to catch rainwater. It's anything you can think of. Now, again, without alerting everyone to being that this is something that is going to happen, but that you're not going to have food, you're not going to have water, you're not going to have fuel, there's not going to be electricity. But prepare in case it happens on a limited way or a major way. That's the purpose of doing the videos. Alert you, wake you up, let everyone know. I know this. This is normally the time for me to focus on TBC, and TBC is part of doing a part for preparing for the future, right? When the financial system collapses, so have TBC. You don't have $100 worth of TBC and get one full TBC on the promotion. Do that now. Go to my buykringles.online. The description is below in the video. So please order $100 worth and get prepared. Have something to go by in case there is no cash available. The banks stop. Remember, we're fighting the banks. They're not our friends. Central banks are not our friends, right? They've been keeping the money out of the system. That's why no one has money. They've been starving. They've turned it off. They don't make loans. They don't do things. This is the time for us. We've got major things coming up. It's not over even after the next election. but they are making the moves. It's going to take a long time to get the cabal out of power. We're talking about military things happening. We're talking about shots fired. They fired a missile at Air Force One when Trump was on his way to Singapore. That submarine was taken out by an airplane that crashed into its base. The submarine was decommissioned under the Clinton administration. The name of the pilot was the same name as of the submarine. Planted information so once the mainstream media just takes those are talking points, they found out what the name of the individual was. They took the talking points, ran with it. Oh, it happens to be the name of the submarine as well. Come on, they're just waking you up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Well, continue waking up. I appreciate everyone for joining. Please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I really appreciate everything that you do. I'm going to continue to do the Q posts as much as possible. So please, participate when you can. By jumping on. I know I went really long this time. It's into 2.5 hours, but there's a lot of information. I listen to it in the background while I'm working, right? You can do the same thing. Find YouTube. There's several SGT reports. I love their work. A praying medic. He's a praying and he's a medic. His stuff is also very good at Q posts. There's several others out there. Several that are that are seeing the links between what's going on with the Vatican. That's a new one. I think I posted on my Facebook. A gentleman sounds like he's out of the UK. He's got a British accent, but maybe it might be Australian. But anyway, he's talking about the Vatican and what's going on with the current Pope and how he's set to resign. He's going to be out. What does that mean by prophecy? So all this stuff is going on. So please take the time, get prepared. This is the time. Food, water, electricity, if you can manage to get a generator, and it makes sense. At least candles and flashlights, these kind of systems to be prepared. This is just in case, and hopefully it doesn't come to be a bad situation, but the cabal doesn't want to leave. That's why they're meeting in skiffs right now. They've been made blind. What are they going to do? Right? They had to gather together, and we're paying for their hotel rooms to fight us. Anyway, until next time, I appreciate everything. Please go ahead and subscribe. Please share this video. Make everyone awake as much as possible. No forcing of it, no fighting. Just give your concern. Let them know some of these things that are happening. That this is a U.S. Military intelligence movement to get rid of the cabal banking system that's controlling us and removing all the money from our system, and we're going to a new gold-backed dollar. We're on it, and the money for the GCR is due to be released Wednesday to Friday. And if that happens, then there'll be a lot of things going on. So please, I appreciate everyone for doing it, but do make some effort to help everyone else get into the awareness of this is a wake-up time. You'll see what's happening with Hillary in this, but we're going to be seeing some very traumatic things, and people have to be at least alerted so they have some hearing of when it starts happening. They don't all freak out. That's what this is about. The Great Awakening. Trust the plan. See you next time.